DETV Sports Update is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
All right. Welcome to the Monday edition of DETV Sports. I am Jason McCall. I'm filling in for Nick. Nick, get well soon. See you later on this week. Here with a regular co-host, Matt Maurer. We're going to talk about basketball and NCAA men's and women's.
Yep.
And maybe a little bit of other things tonight. But Matt, tonight is the elite matchup for the women's Elite Eight. We got Paige Beckers versus the freshman sensation Juju Watkins. Then the second game, we have the rematch of the last year's national championship game. We have LSU versus Iowa. We have the Bayou Barbie, Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. So before we get into that, Matt, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Doing good, man. I'm a little upset. My heels didn't do well.
Our heels, right?
Our heels.
Our heels,
did not do well. But look, shout out to NC State. Shout out to all the teams that are still alive. I think UConn is UConn the only one that we have?
UConn. I didn't have UConn. I didn't. I had Auburn in that region. So.
Oh, okay. I think UConn's the only one I got that's still alive. That's it.
I mean, it's been a wild tournament. So you have UConn, you have Purdue, who we all didn't have.
Did not have Purdue,
UConn, Purdue,
Alabama,
and NC State.
Yep.
So I had two SEC teams. They weren't Alabama though. So just a shout out to Alabama. Grant Nelson, Sears, Coach Nate Oates. He's a great coach. Clearly, so this is the Alabama team that we all expected last year to make a deep run.
Yep.
So 1 year later, lesser talent from a 1 through 15 standpoint, but same grit, determination, and they're here. But when we jump to the men's tonight, everyone, it's must-see TV tonight. So if you're watching basketball right now, you're going to have Iowa versus LSU, a rematch of last year's national championship game for the women's at 7:15. Then the second game is going to be USC versus UConn, a 1 versus the 2 seed. So get your popcorn ready. But Matt, let's get into this first game of LSU versus Iowa.
Yeah, rematch, the game that set women's basketball on fire somewhat. Caitlin Clark's coming out hot as usual. And I expect she's probably going to have a 30-point game tonight. I'm assuming 30, 32. It's not even at the realm of her doing 36. And listen, Van Leaf has to step up.
I agree.
She's got to step up.
I agree, man. I agree.
If not, they're in trouble. And I don't want LSU to be in trouble. I want LSU to win, obviously, for the culture. Other side. But I'm just going to keep it real.
I mean, it's what it is.
It's for the culture,
It's what it is.
We love the Barbie, and we love what LSU represents. So diversity, and I think a game that, is more, I would say, urban-based with the trash talk and everything else. Taking a lot of flack from the media. National media does not like them.
They don't at all.
Their coach is not making it easy.
Let's stay there.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Kim Mulkey has been the target of a few publications. One from LA Times on this past weekend, and then one from the Washington Post prior to that. She's been the target of talking about her players behind closed doors, about her LGBTQ players, and how she handles players and coaches. I'll say this, just for the record. I feel like Kim Mulkey is the female Bob Knight.
Yeah.
Like she's polarizing, but she wins games. she wins championships. You had a couple of players who were dismissed from last year's Final Four team. We're not on the team right now. And Angel Reese had something to say about it early in the season, but, they had to go their separate ways. I want to say Morris was one of the players that catalyst to the Final Four team last year. So in light of the recent, publications, how do you feel about Coach Mulkey and what she's doing with his team, and where's their focus right now?
I don't like what Kim has done. I think, Ms. Mulkey has to understand that a coach's job is to add a solid footing and be a shield for their players. I think right now she's given them a very unstable ground because of all this drama for the most part. I mean, you have these little snide comments she's made about Angel Reese. You have the drama about Angel Reese. I mean, there was speculation that she was pregnant. There was speculation that she's failing. And you never saw Kim Mulkey come out and take those punches for their players. You kind of saw her be dismissive of a lot of things. She's made really weird comments here and there.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been what you would like from a PR standpoint. And I think, unfortunately, she's made, let's just be honest, she's made mainstream media easy to paint LSU with a hate brush.
And I agree because, from our previous stop at Baylor, she has a reputation for being that fiery coach that do anything to win. She's coached players like Sophia Young, WA MVP Rookie of the Year, that kind of thing. So her reputation precedes her with greatness in players, but it's like also it comes with the added on effects. The controversy, I'm not really regulating my program to a sense. We're running amok. So with that being said, how do you feel about this current team and how the recent, publications may rule into their focus for tonight?
I mean, look, they're going to have to be a strong team. They're going to have a lot of mental toughness. I mean, this is nothing new for us in that have followed sports. I mean, when we were growing up in the 90s, you had, it was the student athletes versus, the thugs, which was UNLV versus Duke. You had,
or we had in the football, we had
Catholics versus convicts. Exactly.
It's deja vu.
Deja vu. So it's like the falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I think anybody who watches this and says, "Oh, this is crazy," you see what's going on? It's like, dude, it's been going on for a long time. This is how these newspaper outlets have sold their stories. And unfortunately, I just wish they would change the brush and make it more about the character of somebody rather than, I just feel like they hide behind racial tropes to infuriate people.
I'm going to do this right now. So shout out to Paige Beckers. When she won the College Basketball Athlete of the Year at the ESPYs 2021, she highlighted herself as being Player of the Year, but also giving a shout out to black women athletes in college basketball and what their plight was and how it's been just for black women athletes overall in the NCAA landscape. So, Paige Beckers, I don't want you to win tonight.
Yes.
But your speech 3 years ago, as a freshman, mind you, I respect what you said and how you stood up for the Angel Reeses and the other players, even back then. Mm-hmm. So she's aware of what her significance in playing the game it actually is.
Right.
But let's go to the X and O's tonight. We got LSU.
Yep.
Iowa.
Yep.
I would say for me, the X factor is Anissa Maurer.
Yep.
Flower-J's going to get her Flower-J and Paige Beckers cancel each other out. Mm-hmm. But I think Anissa Maurer and the Twin Tower tandem, if you will, with her and Angel Reese in the post, I don't think UConn has enough to really stop that.
No. That's if Iowa wins. I mean, I'm sorry, if LSU wins.
Right.
Obviously, I think we all think UConn could get the dub.
Not so fast, my friend.
I would like to see – I'm not going to lie, though. I would love to see Paige Becker get her chance. And I'm sorry we're jumping. This is kind of what we do at times.
Yeah.
But Paige Becker, I would really like to see her because, this is somebody who, before the injuries, back-to-back injuries, we had on that Caitlin Clark hype train.
I'll go bigger. She was on that Maya Moore trajectory.
Yes,
before she got injured.
correct.
Like, at UConn, she was on that Maya Moore,
Correct.
Seaberg,
She was next.
Rousey. Like, she was next.
She was
You know,
next.
Tiffany Hayes, she was next.
She was next. And unfortunately, injuries have taken some of that from her. So, look, I'm hoping, obviously, I love how Juju Watkins, I love the story. I love seeing that this is somebody who is not only showing how good they were, but also proving all the press clippings from being this college phenom, high school phenom. But I would love to see Paige Becker really put some numbers out there tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll say this: the first matchup, rematch of last year's game. I want to see, the Yayo. I want to see Angel versus Caitlin again.
Yep.
But more so, I believe in Juju, man. I do. I believe in Juju Watkins and the rest of her squad at USC. Their first time in the Final Four since '84, since the McGill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, DeVille McGee.
The
the
McGee sisters.
Twins.
Yeah.
And Cheryl Miller.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Then they made their first Sweet 16 in 30 years when Cheryl Miller was the coach, and you had a senior phenom named not only but the Lisa Leslie.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, think about the history of great athletes that's come to USC women's basketball.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Significant.
But 30 years it's been that long?
Yeah.
And then championship game's been 40 years? So if they can get a chance to make it to the pass tonight, it'll be 40 years.
Yeah. And I mean, Juju's averaging 27, 7, and 3.
And she's already passed Caitlin Clark's freshman scoring record.
Let's not open up those can of worms just yet.
Hey, tonight we can.
Right.
Because
I'm with you.
Because my thing is, once she passed Cheryl's record,
right. All records are up.
It's all for a game after
That's
that.
a fact. That's a fact. I'm with you.
We're talking about. So for you casuals out there, Cheryl Miller would be the equivalent to Wilt in the women's game prior to the 90s. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Because she all records.
Pretty much.
And then you had that dominant team with Cheryl Miller, the McGee twins, and Cynthia Cooper on the same team at the same time.
It was nasty.
And mind you, Cynthia Cooper didn't even graduate from USC. She got to in Texas Southern a few years ago.
Yep.
And they won back-to-back championships.
It's a fact. And then don't forget Monica Wright.
Here we go, loving basketball. Here we go over that.
That's a loving basketball reference. I had to.
Because my last name is McCall. Yeah.
There you go. I had to.
That's okay. That was.
Shout out Latham. We love you though.
That was cool.
No,
not tonight. That was cool.
No, I love you.
Yeah. Hey, it's what it is.
Come on the show.
That was cool, but no. But like, so the keys of the game to me would be the guard play for both teams.
That's a fact.
But that's for the USC and UConn game. But back to this.
The Civil War?
The Civil War.
Yeah.
The Union versus Confederacy.
Unfortunately, it's got those tones to it, doesn't it?
Us versus them. How do you want to label it? What are the keys to the game tonight versus LSU rather versus Iowa?
They've got to somehow let Caitlin Clark do what she does and limit everybody else. It's that old Jordan strategy. You let
Jordan rules?
Yeah, Jordan. You got to make sure that the B.J. Armstrongs and the Horace Grants and the Scottie Pippens don't get their points as easy. That's all you can do. I think Caitlin Clark's that phenomenal of a shooter. I think she's just too tough to really stop. So you got to just basically be able to withstand what she puts up and make sure that everybody else doesn't kill you.
I mean, the first half, she was really like 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. She only like 10 points at the half, and then she caught fire and
went crazy
in the fourth quarter. I'm like, oh, this is just different. So they had a great game plan against her.
That's a fact.
But the fourth quarter, she just went bonkers. She went Steph.
She did.
In the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, shooting from, like, the half-court logo and everything. But like you said, like, what does Shaq always say? It's the role players
that
win the game.
That's a fact.
But for me tonight, I honestly think LSU has too much firepower. When you add a Flau'jae, you have a Haley Van Lith, you add a freshman in Michaela Williams, Anissa Maurer. It's
a lot to overcome.
Del Rosario is a backup to Angel Reese.
Yep.
I think it's just too much firepower. I think LSU wins a close game but gets back to the national championship.
I like it.
That's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I got the same feeling. I mean, my feeling about Caitlin Clark is that she's dealing with a situation where she might be the best player on the floor, but
and the best team.
She's not the best team.
Yeah.
So.
And then in the second game, go back to that real quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like USC is a bit more talented than everybody gets credit for.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
I think they have more versatile players 1 through 4 than UConn does.
Yeah.
I think that the aura of UConn and Gino has come to pass in the past 5 years.
I hope so.
I mean, no, I feel that way. I honestly feel that way as a fan, but also as a person who's
I'm a Gino hater.
Studying the sport.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gone now.
Yep.
I feel like it's must-see TV. I think we have to see Flau'jae versus Juju. I just feel like it gets – so what did Wale say? I'm rooting for everybody that's black, you know? Like, that's what he said, right?
That's what he said.
That's what he said in the song, right?
That's what he said.
But I feel like Juju's next.
Sure.
As a freshman, so I feel like it's shaping up that way. I think Caitlin's going to be in the mix regardless.
Right.
Remember, she still has the option to choose a fifth year to come back or not.
Yep.
People forget that.
She does, but I don't think that's.
I don't think she will.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Cube gave her $10 million to play in the Big Three.
Although the Indiana Pacers.
You're for the summer.
The Indiana, what is it? The Fever.
The Fever, yeah.
I think they're going to have the number 1 pick, so she might want to go back.
No, you heard what I said. I said Ice Cube has offered $10 million for her to play in the Big Three.
Yeah, I have problems with that, but I don't want to get into that right now. I have problems with that. I'm not going to get into that right now.
It's ticket sales, bro.
I know. I get the ticket sales thing. I get the whole business reason why Ice Cube offered that. It just, to me, as a basketball purist, I just don't like the sideshow of it. To me, it's become a sideshow thing.
Yeah,
it's
and
like
disrespect the game. Yeah.
Correct. Like I think Caitlin Clark should be respected as a ball player. I think whether, and I don't think Cube did it intentionally.
He did.
I think he did it as a business move.
Business move, yeah, it's really a business move.
But it takes the legitimacy away from Caitlin Clark and makes her a spectacle or a freak. And to me, she needs to be respected as a ball player and not as a sideshow circus.
Okay, so I'm going to just go on deep for a second and come back.
Yeah.
So with WNBA draft coming up in maybe like a week or two after the tournament.
Sure.
Is Caitlin Clark really the presumptive number 1 pick when you have players like Cardoso who will come out, you have Angel who will come out, you have Cameron Brink from Stanford who will come out,
right.
You have a plethora of other players. Is she the number 1 pick?
I think so, but
Why?
I think well, to what we talked about before, ticket sales.
But aside from marketability, why is she the number 1 pick?
Well, I don't think to me, she wouldn't be number 1 on my board, but I am in love with Cardozo from South Carolina. I think she's spectacular. I think she's what you need in any pro setting. You need somebody who's 6'7" and has her skill sets and doesn't back down from physical contact. I think she's if Caitlin Clark goes number 1, she's number 2 to me.
Okay.
I don't see how she wouldn't be. So yeah, if I had that pick, I would take her over Caitlin Clark, just because I think Caitlin, whether people like to or not, there's going to be situations in the WNBA where Caitlin Clark's not going to be able to outshoot it. There's going to be situations where she's going to have defenders that are able to lock in on her. Mm-hmm. And I want to say this real quick. People need to respect the WNBA. I honestly think it's one of the hardest leagues in professional sports.
Crack, yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about a league that, on average, cuts first-round draft picks after they get drafted. So, like, that's how hard it
Edwards
is.
from South Carolina got cut by the
Right.
Fever a couple years ago.
Right.
Like, it's nasty out there.
It's nasty, man. It's not sweet over there in the WNBA,
Not
man.
at all.
So, I just think the comp is a lot harder than people give it credit for.
So before we switch to the recap of the Sweet 16 Elite 8 for the men's,
Yeah.
shout out to Deasha Fair, third all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball. Angel Reese even gave her a shout out because she doesn't get the proper shine, over other players, if you will. But Deasha Fair from Syracuse is third all-time NCAA women's basketball scoring, and she's going to be a walking bucket in the WNBA, on USA Basketball, and where else she plays.
Mm-hmm.
So the transfer to Syracuse 2 years ago, she put up over 3,500 points
Yeah, it's
in her
crazy.
college career.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane.
It is.
So shout out to Deasha Fair. But the moment of truth I'm waiting for.
Yeah, the moment.
Our brackets have been jacked since opening weekend.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's talk about this men's Final Four.
Yeah.
You have the UConn Huskies, led by Kerrigan and others.
Yep.
You have the upstart Crimson Tide, Alabama, who beat our Tar Heels,
Beat them down.
and then beat Clemson in a questionable game to get to the Final Four.
Yep.
Then you have
NC State.
the brothers DJ Horn, DJ Burns.
DJ Burns, the best offensive lineman playing basketball right
Yes, he's what they said last night. He has Olajuwon's footwork with Zach Randolph's game.
Yeah.
That's a perfect analogy for him.
That's a fact. Yep.
Well, mind you, he was about 60 pounds smaller at Tennessee when he went there first.
Right.
Then transferred to Winthrop, and then transferred from Winthrop to NC State.
And then Purdue.
And Purdue.
Yep.
Mount Edie.
Mount Edie. I like that. Mount Edie.
Mount Edie.
Mount Edie. I like it.
I mean, Edie is the reason why they're there.
That's
Because their guards are trash.
The guards are trash. That's a fact.
But you got in the Final Four matchup, you got Edie versus Burns.
That's gonna be nasty work.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I'm picking NC State.
I am too. Honestly, I am.
Yeah, and I think that the unsung hero is Burns. I think is going to do what he does.
Diarra?
Yeah,
I thought you were
great
there.
minds think alike. That
Diarra.
kid is amazing. Covers a wide range of guys, and their guards are just not up to par. Just to deal with that, I mean, I just think Keats it's crazy. I want to give Coach Keats a tremendous amount of love.
Support.
Yo, because this is a guy that they wanted on the hot seat.
They wanted his head 2 years ago.
Yeah, man. He was on the hot seat this year.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't go in the ACC tournament and have the run they have, he's gone. And then he has the run, gets himself to the NCAA tournament, and then does this. He's a one game from a national title. It's incredible.
Think about this. They were a 10 seed in the ACC tournament.
Right.
Ran the table. They're
Ran
an
the
11
table.
seed
Right.
in the NCAA tournament. Still running the table.
Smashing everybody.
So we're going to date ourselves.
Yeah.
This is the first time the Wolfpack is in the Final Four since Jimmy V and Lorenzo Charles in '83.
That's a fact.
When they won the whole thing, man.
Yeah, when Roy Rogers' chicken was good. That's how far back this is.
Listen.
James Way was in effect. Ames was around.
They beat a formidable Houston Cougars team. They beat Clyde the Glide with a Jerry curl.
Clyde with the Jerry.
With a Jerry. They beat Akeem without
the H.
Without the H.
That's a fact. No H.
No H. So this has been that long, man.
Mr. Mean.
Mr. Mean. See?
Larry Michaud, man.
Larry Michaud, man.
That's how far back we're talking.
Listen, 41 years.
Ronald Reagan was president.
First time.
That's a fact.
The first time. So if we can dive into that matchup.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, look, I give Edey a tremendous amount of credit. This is not a guy that I think is going to – this is what's going to be weird for people. This is a guy that Joe Sixpack is watching, your average guy who tunes in to college basketball just for the tournament.
Yeah, just to make some money.
Just to make some money, try to win that office pool.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Never works out for me, though, because I overthink it. Yeah, trash. And, he's watching this, and he's probably saying, Zach Edey's got to be a top 5 pick, got to be a top 10 pick in the pros. And, no, he'll be a first-rounder. I think he saved himself enough.
I think he's like top 15, though.
I don't know, man.
He has to. He has to be because they're going to give him Player of the Year again over Dalton Connect, which doesn't make sense.
That's a fact.
It doesn't make sense. Dalton Connect
definitely should be. Yeah,
you're the Player of the Year, cuz.
I agree.
Like we gonna go here. Like
yeah,
you're the Player of the Year, and second, in my opinion, would be R.J. Davis from Tar Heels, salute to Chapel Hill, but Zach Edey going to the Final Four, first time since 1980 with Purdue. He's probably gonna be the Player of the Year.
And we got to eat a little bit of humble pie here.
We do.
Now that you mentioned R.J. Davis,
he choked.
I don't think he choked.
It was Baycott.
Baycott choked.
Baycott. He played like Boo Boo.
Played like
Grant Nelson exposed him.
Dog. Can we talk about Grant Nelson for a minute?
Let's go.
Where have you been the whole year, bro?
Right.
We always waiting for you. Transfer from North Dakota State. Everybody said, look, this is where he got to do to prove it. Had NBA scouts buzzing at North Dakota State. They said, look, your competition level is a little shaky. Yeah. He goes to SEC, and he just plays in the SEC. It's like, yeah, he plays. It's okay.
He's showing tournament, though.
But in the tournament, Bull walked us down.
Harrison disappeared in that game.
Yeah.
Bruh. Hello? Where are you, fam?
But, dog.
What happened, cuz?
He walked us down, though.
Listen.
When he did the crossover at half court, I said,
the last 5 minutes of the game?
So what are we doing here? This is getting nasty.
Yeah, real nasty.
Real nasty. The reverses?
However,
nasty.
If we're going back to that game just for a brief second.
Yeah.
I blame Coach Davis. I'm going to say why. Cadeau and Trimble played a combined, 14 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
They were cooking Alabama in the first half.
Yeah.
They played a combined 14 minutes. They were like 1 for 10 from the field because they weren't getting any shots. Had you rolled the momentum with them, we talking about UNC in the Final Four. Easy.
I agree.
Easy money.
But I don't even think it's just that, though. I don't understand why they didn't let Elliot Cadeau run point and have RJ
off the ball. I've seen it all year. All year.
Made no sense.
But, so I went to the Syracuse game in Carolina on my birthday. That's what they ran. They had Cadeau on the ball and had RJ off the ball, and it worked seamlessly. And you had Carmack Ryan hitting threes from everywhere in that game.
He's frustrating now.
But he's a graduate.
He is, but he's so frustrating because there's some games you're like, man,
he frustrated.
Can't miss.
But he frustrated as his previous schools. I mean,
yeah, but you just look at him, he's like, man, he can't miss one game, and the next game is like,
next game is like 1 for 12. You know?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's Carmack Ryan though. But let's go to we can talk about Tars all day.
Yeah.
So those who don't know, we're both avid Tar Heel fans. So we're happy that the Wolfpack beat Duke.
That's a fact.
The Devil couldn't win on Easter Sunday, so Wolfpack had to win. I'm just saying. So
shout out to Jarrett McCain getting that Revlon,
with nail
polish deal.
I mean, I don't know.
Congrats, bro.
I don't know if he paused, no did he? I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know what to say to that, man.
I mean, get your money. How about that? I'm just going to be positive. Get your money.
Get your money. I'm going to be positive, too.
Get your money, but but all money
definitely
ain't good
special
money.
Dude. Definitely a special dude there.
All money ain't good money. I'm just leave it there.
I think he goes pro, though. I think he's
after 1 year?
I think he's going.
I mean, the way he can shoot from three,
yeah, I think he's going.
You can't teach that.
No. So let's talk about Alabama and Connecticut.
Let's talk about this game, man.
First of all, even though Grant Nelson, you flamed us, I don't appreciate that. I will give you credit. You guys are in your first Final Four.
Ever. First ever. Not Sprewell, not Ori.
No, how about that?
Not Mo Williams.
Not Buck Johnson.
Not McDice.
No.
None of them.
None of them. Jason Caffey.
Oh, come on.
James Hollywood Robinson.
Did you say Jason Caffey?
Say Jason Caffey.
I'm going to throw my keys at you, man.
I know
Jason
that's
Caffey?
right. Jason Caffey. Shout out to Jason Caffey for stealing all that money from Golden State Warriors. Anyways.
And the Bulls, too.
And the Bulls. But the Bulls are smart enough to say, like, let's get rid of them. They play UConn. And UConn, man, I got to tell you, bro, I don't know how. They don't look like they slowing down.
A 30-0 run?
Crazy.
A 30-0 run. Like, folks, UConn had a 30-0 run.
30-0
They went from the first half to the second half of a collegiate tournament game.
It's crazy.
The score was tied at 23. They went up 53-23 in the second half of a game. That's insane.
It is. I don't know what else they can do. I mean, dude, they're operating on all cylinders. Carabin's doing well. Donovan Klingen's playing crazy.
Klingen's playing out of his mind.
Yeah, Newton is so steady. It's crazy. They might repeat. It's looking.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't like. Look, sorry, Dan. I respect your father, but your brother was Bobby Hurley, so. No, he goes
Here
that
we
far.
go with this again.
Only goes that far. That's right. The hate of a North Carolinian runs deep.
Yeah, the Jersey ties.
Even your family, I'm gonna hate on, but whatever.
The Jersey ties, you know.
Yeah, you know. But seriously, you know, if Dan Hurley gets this back to back, you have to say to yourself, where would this put him?
Does it put him at the head of the table in the Hurley household?
Yeah. Even his daddy.
Does it? Over Dan Sr.?
I think so.
Does it put him at over?
I think does his dad have, like, I want to say 2 high school mythical championships? I want to say.
But how many NBA players has he produced from that one school?
Yeah, but how many of them have been good NBA players?
It's been a few.
Shout out to Anthony Perry. I still don't know how you didn't make it, bro.
It's been a few.
I mean, Roderick Rhodes.
Yeah. Okay, respectfully.
Respectfully. And respectfully, Roger Rhodes is a baller. He just never did what I thought they were going to do at the next level.
So is his best player Kyrie for real?
It might be.
Oh.
It might be.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
If you think about all the guys they've had, it might be. And look, I got tremendous respect for that program and everything else.
Which is now no longer in existence, but
yeah,
that's no story another day.
Unfortunately, it's funding, right?
Funding
Killed it. But yeah, back to back, you're talking about something that hasn't been done since what?
Florida 06-07.
Yep, Florida 06-07.
You see, Nick, we gave you a Florida shout out.
We gave you a Florida shout out, Nick.
You happy? There you go. Take it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys still suck.
I don't want that. They're trash. Oh, that's okay.
I'm gonna give you another Florida shout out, Nick. How'd that prediction go of you guys getting to the Final Four, Nick, this year?
Just like ours.
Now, I will say this. I did not have us going to the Final Four.
I did.
You did.
I had championship game.
Ouch.
I did.
Yeah.
My bracket is destroyed.
I only got one person left. That's UConn, who I got going to the championship.
I don't have anybody left.
I had Marquette. They got knocked.
I had Auburn, Tennessee. I had Auburn, Tennessee, North Carolina, and I can't remember 14,
Kentucky?
but Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In our DETV sports bracket.
DETV sports bracket.
In one of my official brackets, I did pick UConn in the Final Four. I don't have the championship though. So again, I still had Tar Heels all the way. So I'm screwed regardless.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, I know it's a sad year. I mean,
sad, man.
Think about it. Essentially the same team from a 2022 Final Four minus Caleb.
Machine Gun Love.
And they got beat too.
They did. Okay, so real quick, what are our predictions for these games? You going Purdue or NC State?
Listen, I'm riding the wave. I think Cameron Dennis.
Uh-oh. It's gotten serious.
NC State, the Wolfpack, national champions. They went in the whole thing. They went in the whole thing.
Oh, my.
Easy money. Put your bets in now. Bet Rivers, Delaware Park, wherever you got to go. FanDuel, DraftKings.
This man.
NC State.
This man.
Easy money. National championship. That's where I'm going with it.
All right. I think they beat Purdue.
I respect that.
I think UConn beats Alabama.
And UConn go back to back?
I think UConn goes back to back.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Jordan Hawkins walking through that door. That's why I picked NC State.
Jordan Hawkins is not walking through that door.
That's my reason why. That's my reason why. Honestly, I have nothing else.
But is that not crazy? They lost Jordan Hawkins and they still
win the championship game. Still in the Final Four. Like that's
crazy.
Think about it. Horn and Burns were transfers from Arizona State and Winthrop, respectively.
Yeah.
To this NC State squad. Like you said, the coach is on the hot seat going into the season.
Yeah.
Going to the ACC tournament on the hot seat. We talking about Maurer 3 weeks ago. Like, yo, are we going to keep you, fam?
Right. We going to keep you, fam.
And now he's in the Final Four. We haven't seen guard play this good from NC State. You know where I'm going with this.
Go ahead.
We ain't seen guard play from NC State this good since Del Negro and Nate McMillan. You know, we going to keep it going.
The favorite last name.
Favorite last name. You know?
Del Negro.
Del Negro. You know?
Yeah, Vinny Del Negro.
Vinny. You know, it's been that long, though.
Shout out to Vinny Del Negro.
Or Chris, what's his
Cornacci?
Cornacci, yeah.
They had some good ass names back then.
They had some good guards at NC State in the day.
What was the other one? Monroe? Rodney Monroe?
Or even in the late 90s.
A bucket.
Or in the late 90s, yeah, Julius Hodge. You know.
Yeah.
But, you know, the accident that happened with him. And then
Shout out to Chris Paul.
Or recent memory, let's go Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith was a problem at NC State.
That's a fact.
I wish he stayed in school longer at NC State. They probably won the ACC chip if he stayed longer.
He probably would.
Like that.
He might not got drafted, though, at third.
Yeah, he probably would have been like a mid-first rounder. But him at NC State, that was just highlight reel work.
Yeah, that was.
It was different.
His high school tape was crazy, too. It's crazy.
All right, so you have UConn versus NC State for the championship, and you have UConn winning it all. I have NC State.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the women's side for a second.
Yep.
So tonight we have Paige.
Yep.
And UConn Huskies.
Yep.
Versus
Paige is going against USC.
USC, we got Juju and the upstart Trojans.
Yep.
Who wins that game tonight?
I'm going UConn. And I don't like Gino, but I think
I know you don't. Personally, I know you don't.
I don't like Gino, man.
I know you don't.
Don't like Gino.
And then, so you have LSU and Iowa.
LSU. I think team beats talent.
All right, so UConn versus LSU. In your estimation, who cut the nets?
We still got South Carolina.
You're right.
And NC State.
Shout out to NC State.
Two
teams in the Final Four.
And UConn.
UConn, both teams.
Yeah, both teams.
Okay, so let's do this. Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Does a team from UConn win or a team from NC State win? Let's put it out there. Let's go with it. This
South Carolina.
It's happened now. You got South Carolina so they're going undefeated? They're going to go what? They're going to go like 41-0, something like that?
They're 30. I think they're 31-0 right now. I think if they beat everybody left, I think they're 34-0. Does they finish the season? I'm gonna go with them.
So I'm gonna be that guy.
Oh man, here we go.
I'm gonna be that guy. Trust me, I love Dawn Staley. I have a USA Dream Team Dawn Staley jersey I haven't pulled out the closet yet. That's got Mitchell and Ness. 96 joint. Dream Team. Love her dearly.
Okay.
I don't have them winning this year. I told y'all on the show weeks ago. I got USC winning the whole thing in the women's game.
Oh wow. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't bet against Dawn.
I like the first chip since Miller 40 years ago. I got that. They ride the momentum.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I can't go against my girlhood. That's my girlhood. My childhood crush in Dawn Staley, man. She was.
I understand. I mean,
can't do it. Can't do it
with
man.
the bump, with the curl,
the bob and stuff.
The bob, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
used to pull off some nasty moves. She was dope, man.
2 Final Fours.
I don't think people. Real talk. Like I know we talk about like the latest is the greatest, and that's how people do. But Dawn Staley was.
Dawn Staley is the top 5 college player of all time.
Problem
in the women's game. She's easily top 5 all time. Like
she was dope.
Her production on the court is you can't go against that. And she played in the ABL, the WBL, and then the WNBA.
Yeah, she was a problem.
She was a problem everywhere she played.
Yeah, she was dope.
Shout out to the Charlotte Sting WNBA. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Listen. That was a squad. It was Dawn Staley and Vicky Bullock, University of Maryland. I'm just saying, playing on the Charlotte Sting. So
okay, I like it.
They were a squad to watch in the late '90s of the WNBA, man. So I
like it.
Just know that we're not new to this. We're treated from both sides of the game, women's basketball, men's basketball. We do this for real. So all you imitators out there, I got to say it tonight, please stop.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And if you want to know somebody else who I used to love watching play, man, you want to talk about crazy handle. Saudi Roundtree. Woo. Saudi Roundtree was nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, she might have the best handle I've seen. Her and what's the guard's name? Little short guard from New York that with the UConn. Bobbitt.
No, Bobbitt played for Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay.
Shannon Bobbitt.
Bobbitt. Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, she was dope. Yeah, she had handle, man. She was crazy. But yeah, we're definitely not new to this. Definitely been doing this for a minute. And I'm telling you right now, this is probably the best collection of talent I've seen.
In women's basketball, truthfully, on both sides of the ball. Like, we're watching, So, honestly, in the men's game, we're watching parity.
Right.
In the women's game, we're watching stars.
Yeah.
Like, just think about it. The women's tournament was labeled just March Madness until 2 years ago, where they said women's tournament. No, I'm sorry, they labeled the women's tournament until a couple years ago. They said, now we're going to brand you with the March Madness tag.
Right.
And the game and give you extra funding. Like, we saw all the games on ABC. That hasn't happened before this year.
Right.
And we've had a multitude of stars in women's game. You've had Simone Augustus. You've had Maya Moore. You've had Swin Cash. You've had Brittany Griner. You had Odyssey Sims. You had Charlie Collier. We can go down the line in recent memory.
Jackie Styles.
Like Kelsey Plum. Jackie Young.
Yeah.
Ruth Riley.
Yeah.
Coach Ivy won a chip at
the Meeks, Tennessee,
at Notre Dame under Muffin McGraw. We've had great women's players, but
that's fact.
They were always on those late games. ESPN, you get the snippet of 10 minutes and cut back to another game. So, shout out to the Wild World of Sports at Disney. They own ESPN and ABC. Shout out to you guys for finally realizing that women's college basketball actually matters on a grand scale and selling tickets. But again, I give credit to women's college basketball owes a great deal to Angel Reese. I'm gonna say it now. Not only is she from Baltimore, 4-1 in the building, St. Francis, East Side.
Okay,
we out here.
Shout out to Mark Karcher.
Hey, Mark Karcher, a neighbor. I'm just saying. Back in the day, him and Ronnie Elliott, they played in Maryland. Those are my guys. Keith Booth. Those are my people.
There you go.
So Baltimore in the building, but Angel Reese, whether we love her or hate her, like she said yesterday on the podium, it's must-see TV. And she said, for the record, for y'all haters out there,
that's right.
Her and Caitlin Clark are actually friends, but on the basketball court, she has no friends. And that's how you should be on the court. Like, what are we doing? Like, Jordan like anybody on the court, but you go play around 18 holes of golf, he taking your money on that golf course too.
Taking your money.
It's the same thing. So let's stop vilifying the women's game. You guys are watching because of people like that. Mm-hmm. You're watching because of Caitlin Clark's equivalent to Steph Curry. You're watching because of Angel Reese's flair and her rebounding prowess. I'm going to give you something. Who was Angel Reese's comp in the men's game? College or NBA?
If I had to pick a comp with her,
she's a walking double-double.
she really is.
In the NBA game, why are you thinking? I hate to compare. I do, because comparison is a thief of joy. We know that already.
Right.
But if we're talking about NBA game, she's a bonus. Double-double.
I was thinking like a KG because she's wiry, a little lengthy.
But just straight rebounding.
Right.
Like the one skill that will translate well next level
It's rebounding.
Rebounding.
And she tough.
That's a bonus. Demontis' bonus all day.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And if we're talking current collegiate game, it's going to blow your mind when I say this comp.
Uh-oh.
Angel Reese, her college game, Baycott. Rebounds, points, double-double. Because they're not flashy.
Not the Grinch.
No, listen, because they're not flashy.
Right.
But you're going to see 20 and 10 in the game.
Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Like, that's what it is. And
I'm not mad at that.
Flower J is RJ Davis.
Okay. I'm with it. She can shoot better, probably.
I put money on it too.
Sorry, RJ.
And rap better too, just saying.
Sorry, right.
Well, I mean, but RJ, he's okay. He has a Deja Kelly, his girlfriend, on the women's side, Tar Heels.
This is true.
He's okay.
He's doing good.
She had no help this year.
She did not.
No help.
No, she did not.
South Klein beat them about 40.
Yeah, it was bad.
She had no help.
She got beat down.
Yeah. Only player on the team that could really score against them, one-on-one.
So real quick, let's talk.
Yes, sir.
Now we've done the college. Let's talk real quick.
Let's go NBA. Let's go.
Let's go NBA, man. What do you think about this news about Embiid? Think he's coming back? You think he's not?
He's playing this week. Yeah.
Think he's playing this week?
Yeah, he's playing about Thursday. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I think so.
Would you play him if you're the Sixers?
You know, I said it before. I wouldn't.
Right.
I let him practice the rest of the season.
Right.
But because they're playing to not be in the play-in, they have to play him.
Right.
Now, as a GM myself, regardless of what we're doing, he's resting and just practicing the whole time.
Right.
Because I think the Sixers can win out the play-in and probably beat a higher seed in the first round.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
East
for
Conference.
Sure.
So that's just watching basketball. They have a healthy Maxey. You got Oubre playing. You got you got Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
You got Kyle Lowry, better in leadership. I mean, Mo Bamba is playing very well in the absence of Joel Embiid. Let's shout out to Mo Bamba, man.
Mo
Bamba, man. The only man currently in NBA got a rap song named after him. You know,
that's a fact.
Let's,
I don't know nobody else that got that.
Let's do that. You know.
Yeah.
You know, Shaq West one-hit wonder, but it's okay. There's one good song.
Definitely was a one-hit wonder, and shout out that song. That song.
That song is still. They play it everywhere you go.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But no, I do like Embiid playing this week. Only because, like I said, to avoid the play-in.
Right.
I think you have to play him.
I'm not mad at that.
Because they didn't give him enough of a cushion wins-wise while he was out.
No, they did not.
So, I mean, but Nick Nurse has done wonderful work with this team this year.
Yes.
And y'all know I'm a diehard Celtics fan, right?
That you are.
But Nick Nurse has to be considered Coach of the Year.
Ooh.
It's just
okay.
It is what it is. Like, y'all can record it, you can clip it, Dennis. So what it is.
No Missoula?
You clipping it right now. I mean, they still won't make the play-in game with 10 wins in a row. Let's just be honest, in Houston.
I mean, Missoula's crazy, man.
But I like Nick Nurse for Coach of the Year. I mean, Missoula would probably be second or third. I mean, I'll give you that. But
yeah,
I do think Nick Nurse with this roster right now, they traded everybody almost.
That's pretty much.
And still have a sense of continuity and winning games. Like, come on. You expect Kelly Oubre to beat Oubre this year?
No, I didn't expect anything out of Kelly Oubre. I'll be honest with you.
You expect B-Ball Paul to put numbers he put up this year?
No, did not.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You expect Tobias Harris to have a resurgence, quote unquote, this year?
No,
you didn't, right?
I don't think Tobias Harris is that.
He didn't expect it either. He overpaid. That's another story another day.
Fake J. Cole, but yeah,
doppelganger.
Doppelganger.
But like I said, so Nick Nurse deserves a lot of credit for this roster.
Okay.
And Daryl Moore, you just not off the hook.
Still not off the hook.
My good friend James Harden still hates you. So you gotta win something, man. You gotta win something. So leave that there. But speaking of the NBA,
yep.
How you feel about the Eastern Conference, like overall?
I mean, I think it's probably underrated in terms of how tough it is. I think you got teams that are really good, but the teams that are just okay. I think there's a lot more parity in the Western Conference. The Western Conference, I think the teams are overall better, but I don't think there's this squeeze of parity as much as there is. I mean, you have legitimately, I think, two standout teams in the East, which would be Milwaukee and Boston, and then you have
only two.
I think only two.
You don't like the Knicks or Cleveland?
No, I think they're part of the parity group. So I have Cleveland, New York, Orlando, Miami, Philly, Indiana. To me, they're all
middle of the pack. Okay.
All middle of the pack, but they're all fighting. Yeah. So it's not like, to me, in the West you have OKC, you have the Nuggets, you have Minnesota. I'm not a believer in the Clippers, but people are,
Okay, let's say that in the West.
Yeah.
Who's number one in the West going to the playoffs? The playoffs end today with 2 weeks left.
I'm still going Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still going Minnesota.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I have a outside chance for OKC, but SG is hurt right now.
He is hurt,
so they might lose a few games and fall back to maybe 3 or 4.
Definitely.
Okay, so going again. So the Western Conference playoffs. With the parity up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Lakers make it? We got to talk about LA. No, it's for ratings.
Probably.
Lakers. You got to talk about them.
Probably. I wish they didn't.
We got to talk about them.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a LeBron James guy. I think.
Oh, we know. You made it evident.
I think at this point. I think at this point he's just a guy that's there.
Oh, talk about it.
Yeah, I think he hurts them more than he helps them right now. I mean, I know people don't like to hear that, but I think Anthony Davis is by far the better player right now. He's near his prime. And LeBron,
he should have been in his prime by now. Let's just put it out there.
No, facts. But LeBron, again, this is the thing that trips me out about LeBron. And I'm not going to say anything that's crazy, because I think it's crazy that people believe the narrative about LeBron. Look, he's 39 years old.
Yeah.
If you really believe that LeBron is putting this stuff up unassisted, you're an idiot. 39 years old, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where you're going with this?
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this, bro.
Okay.
You're not gonna. And look, I ain't putting nothing dirty on him.
You said the clear Balco?
You might be taking that clear, bro. That's all I'm saying. Bro.
Wow.
I ain't saying nothing that's crazy. I think it's crazy that somebody's 39 years old and you're telling me he's got numbers that's when he's 28, 29. If you really believe that, okay. I just know when we saw this in other sports, we're not this dumb. We say, something ain't right here.
So you saying he Barry Bonds in right now?
Look, I'm just
saying. I'm on the spot. Is he Barry Bonds in right now?
Oh, I think that's why his head keep losing hair here and there.
Oh, wow. So the Roy stick out his follicles.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna keep it a stack, man. Look,
yikes.
And I'll say that. Let me end it with this. So, I say this: LeBron is undoubtedly a top player, one of the top players of all time.
Is he top 5?
Yeah, he's top 5.
Where does he rank in top 5? In your personal rank?
And my personal
1
ranking?
through 5, where does he fall?
I mean, he on the GOAT tier.
GOAT tier. Okay, no. Better yet. Is he on Mount Rushmore?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know what he's done to be on Mount Rushmore.
40,000? 4 rings?
That what?
4 MVPs?
So?
Not Mount Rushmore?
No.
Who's above him? Mount Rushmore.
Jordan.
I mean, that's obvious.
Kareem.
Okay, Cap.
Bill Russell. And Wilt. I don't know why this is crazy.
But Wilt didn't win enough.
It's not about rings for me.
I respect that.
Yeah. I don't do the rings thing.
I don't either.
Because the people who say this about the rings thing, they never have Bill Russell number 1. They never have Sam Jones number 2. They never have John Havlicek number 3. So I don't do the rings thing.
Listen, I'm in agreement with you because most of those players you argue are Celtics players. So, look, I'm not gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. I don't do it. I don't do it.
Sam Jones, KC Jones, Satch Sanders.
Yeah,
we could keep going.
I just don't do it. So, look, I give LeBron credit for the career he's had. I think he's one of the best players to ever play the game. I think he's on the GOAT tier. I just don't think, if we're being honest, I don't think he's on Mount Rushmore.
So, honestly, the only person I would replace will be Wilt, and not because, it's a really bad thing.
Okay.
But I replace young Wilt with baby Wilt. I'll put Shaq in that place on Mount Rushmore.
Nah, it's disrespectful.
No, because
can't do it.
But because of Shaq's wins plus dominance for me, puts him on there. I no disrespect to Wilt because that's my people's uncle. Key, what's up though? That's your uncle. Not disrespect him tonight.
The problem with Wilt Chamberlain is this. The problem with Wilt Chamberlain is the NBA has made it a point to phase Wilt Chamberlain.
And I hate it.
Yeah. When they do most 30-point games, they do it up to 1972. When they do most rebounds, they do it up to 1972.
Yeah, it's pre this, post that.
It's always pre-Wilt Chamberlain.
Post-Chamberlain, yeah.
Post-Chamberlain, yeah. Same thing in college. You know who they do it in college? It's going to blow people's minds. Robert Parrish. They do the same thing with Robert Parrish's numbers. Any era before, they'll do before 1976, which is Robert Parrish. So they don't do the points, they don't do the rebounds, they don't do field goal percentages, they all do it. So they're purposely trying to avoid Robert Parrish. And the NBA has purposely tried to avoid Wilt Chamberlain.
The NCAA tried to avoid Wilt too. Let's just put it out there.
Fact.
That's
a fact.
So the non-dunking rule didn't start with Lou Alcindor, it started with Wilt Chamberlain.
It's a fact.
And he still beat Carolina in Carolina.
Yeah. It's a fact.
I'm just
hey. I'm just saying, man, to me, Wilt is on another level.
This man averaged 50.2 points per game.
And 25 rebounds.
And talk about 25 rebounds.
25 rebounds.
Against
Nate Thurman, Bill Russell. Walt Bellamy. Willis Reed. You got some guys there, man. I don't know. Well, maybe Willis Reed. I don't know if Willis was in the league at that time, but that's 59. Nah.
It was 62.
62. Yeah. So, yeah, Willis just got there.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Grambling.
Shout out to Grambling. But yeah, Zelmo Beatty. I mean, there's just there's some guys. Yeah, Zelmo, baby. The
Fort Wayne Zollner.
So I'm just saying when people do this, and then people do this thing with Wilt where they say oh, that's because no one was tall. No,
they were all tall.
They were all tall back then.
Just like argument we had a few weeks ago offline.
Yeah.
About the Kareem versus Moses Malone debate.
That's
and Moses Malone waxed Kareem, by the way. If you don't know, look up the all-time stats.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season and playoffs, Moses versus Kareem. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
We'll leave it there. But we're going to diverge from this NBA talk. We got an open week of baseball this past week.
Yep.
Phillies put up a decent week. But shout out to the O's. Orioles in the building. We got unfinished business. But the Phils have a nice little squad right now.
Yep.
Bryce Harper is solidly entrenched at first base, although he missed a game because of that dive he made the other day in the dugout.
Of course,
for a foul ball. He's
he'll get
paper mache.
Yeah, it's a fact.
But on the field, put up numbers. So
when he feels like it.
Question for you. So I'm with the baseball. Only question I have for you right now.
Yeah.
Should Shohei get the Pete Rose treatment?
Absolutely. If people really believe that his interpreter, who's getting fronted $80,000 to make a bet by a bookie, if they really believe that wasn't Shohei Ohtani, come on, bro. Yeah. You know where that money came from. And I'm not even saying that Ohtani can't bet, but this is the thing about baseball. This is the thing. We saw this with the NBA with Jonte Porter.
We saw it in football with Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley. we lost a generation of stars in the NBA because of betting scandal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have guys that are not in baseball Hall of Fames because of the betting,
like
Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose.
The whole 1919 White Sox.
1908 White Sox had the same treatment. Most of them they don't even have any stats.
Yeah.
And even worse, most of them they don't even have any affidavits saying that they did it. So at the end of the day, the problem I have with this betting thing, look, betting's brought in huge money for baseball, brought in huge money for basketball. You're making a Faustian bargain because it does add in another element. Halliburton talked about it from the Indiana Pacers, where people were saying he was having people that were calling him a prop bet and being upset when he didn't hit the prop bets.
Yeah.
Like, this is a whole nother element that these guys have opened up that door for, and that's what I said. It's a Faustian bargain. Yeah, the money come with it, but so does a lot of this other drama that you try to stay away from.
But my thing is, right, we're going to stay on this betting thing for a second.
Yeah.
How can baseball make a farce of Pete Rose and not highlight Ohtani when you're about to bring the Oakland A's to become the Las Vegas A's?
Right.
The betting capital of the world, William Hill Sportsbook. You got the Raiders there. You got UNLV playing there.
Right.
You've had an NBA All-Star game. You had an NCAA tournament at the Sphere.
That's a fact.
Are we serious right now?
Sadly, they are.
I mean, even with the college game this year, you got people getting NIL deals from sports books. Like,
it's bad.
Like what are we talking about?
It's bad business. I hate it.
And I gotta go back to something we talked about last week. Like, we're gonna talk about betting still, but
yeah,
the whole G League folding because of NILs is a sham, folks.
That's fact.
It's a sham, folks. There are other leagues that are better and people with more money and get no more exposure. It's not because the G League Ignite was a bad example, So,
yep.
But betting man, right?
Yep.
How am I gonna put this? If you're a betting man,
yep.
Would you put more money? I'm gonna go back NCAA for a second.
Yeah.
Would you put more money on the men's Final Four or the women's Final Four right now?
Ooh. Probably put more money on the women's Final Four. I think I'm more certain of those outcomes.
Okay.
Yeah. More certain of those outcomes. See, and that's the one thing about the women's basketball that I think is improved.
It's pure.
It's pure, and you don't have leakage of talent. So they
stay at their schools.
They stay in school. They don't transfer as much because there's not as many. I mean, if you're at UConn, where are you going to transfer to?
But think about it.
South Carolina?
Think about it. If Paige Beckers were on UConn's men's team, she'd be a freshman to the NBA.
That's a fact.
Flaujae would have won a championship last year. Gone.
Angel Reese would have been.
Angel Reese would have left at the Maryland.
Clark would have left.
Look, Angel Reese would have left at the Maryland.
That's a fact.
Gone to the NBA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you get more 3 and 4 year players.
Yep.
So that begs the question: does the WNBA need to allow early entrance?
I would say no.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying no is because they don't have enough teams to support the rookies that they draft now.
Enough money.
Yeah. I mean, there's that money component for sure. And I think the NBA, the WNBA is
it's a misran product.
It's a misran product, but I also think it doesn't have any parity at all. I think we all knew that Aces were going to win last year. None of us. I knew.
I thought that Liberty had a chance. I did. I did.
A chance at what?
With Stewie and Anescu? I did.
Didn't believe that.
No, I really did. No, I picked them to win championship. I did.
I didn't believe it.
I love the Aces. No, don't get me wrong. Look, listen.
I didn't believe it.
I'm the best CP3 fan in the world.
AJ Wilson is
AJ Wilson and Jackie Young. Listen, I love that squad, but I felt that it was because New York is one of the original franchises of the WNBA. I thought they finally get one. That was where I was.
So you would let sentiment cloud you.
Yeah.
I respect it.
That's why I went with it.
So we've been on for a minute now. I just want to get you real quick. What do you want to wrap up this with? What do you want to talk about that you could shoot a little something?
All right, so my closing argument for this week.
Yeah.
Tennessee, women's team. You fired your coach after 5 years. I know she was an alum, but you had a better alum coaching at Duke. It's time to bring Carol Lawson home. Tennessee. And she comes with an all-star squad of coaches, both actual coaches and former players who want to coach. If you're Tennessee, do the right thing and bring Carol Lawson home. I'm just saying.
Whew. I'm with you on that. So real quick, I want to, before I have my closing thought, I want to first give some condolences out to Jarvis Bass Knight. If you may not know, he was one of the UNLV Rebels back in the 80s. He got famous for
Armand Gilliam.
He actually got famous of literally leapfrog somebody and dunking the basketball. Tremendous athlete, and unfortunately passed away this week. So I respect Jay Wright. I think Jay Wright is a phenomenal coach. He's done phenomenal things. But he kind of gave people false hope, where he said that the NIL was the game changer that has made college basketball have more parity. So
that's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a bad lie, and here's why. So because I'm a nerd, I wanted to see something. So I went into the IRS and I pulled up, and people, you guys at home can do this, because these are, it's hilarious to say, not for-profit conferences. They have to disclose how much money they make. So out of the Final Four for the men's, we have ACC, which made, and this is just what the conference made that they then disperse out to the members. This is not ticket sales. This is not merchandise at the colleges. This is just what the ACC paid. So ACC made $617 million last year. That comes out to $38 million per school. Purdue, which is part of the Big Ten, made $845 million, which comes out to $58 million per school. Alabama, the SEC, made $802 million. Sheesh. That comes out to $49 million per school. And the Big East, a non-football conference, made $87 million. Looks like chump change, which comes out to $8 million a school. Now, here's the other funny thing. So, out of the FBS conferences, these are football conferences, you have the Mountain West, $79 million, Conference USA, $50 million, Sun Bet, $35 million. That football conference, the Big East, made more money than the Conference USA and Sun Belt, who have football. They don't have football. FCS, subdivision of the FBS. The SWAC, which surprised me, shout out to the SWAC, $14 million. They are the highest grossing conference in FCS. Big Sky, $14 million. MEAC, shout out to Del State, $11.3.
That's surprising to me.
That's surprising to me as well. Northeast, $10.6. Patriot, $5. SoCon, $4. Southland, $4. And the Ivy, $1.8, which is incredible. FCS Alliance, which does a hybrid, Atlantic 10, $26 million, which is impressive. Missouri Valley, 13. American East, 12. Coastal Athletic, which was 11. Western Athletic with 9. Big South, 8. Now, the reason why I'm saying, and I can keep going, but I think you guys get the picture. Is it any surprising to anybody that the 4 major conferences that are at the top are in the Final Four? The top basketball producing conference, non-football, is the Big East. They have a representative there with UConn. So all this parity that Jay Wright's talking about, it's not parity. It's not real. Parity is when the mid-majors can come in and play against the majors. That's parity. Telling me that the Power 5 conferences are still eating is not parity. So I just think, look, I'm glad the NIL exists. I'm glad that we're in a state where players are getting paid for their likeness and producing revenue for their families and being able to really take the power away from the universities on making all the money. But let's not get it twisted. These colleges are still making money, and these players are still more valuable than they've ever been. So with that, I want to tell Jay Wright, I appreciate your comments, but I fully disagree, and the money disagrees. And I think that's it for tonight, man.
All right, so folks, you've had your Monday weekly wrap up of NCAA men's and women's, a little bit of NBA, a little bit of MLB. Must-see TV tonight on the women's side. NCAA Elite Eight going to the Final Four, so make sure you tune in right now. I believe the LSU and Iowa game should be probably going to the second half.
It is.
About now, so if you want to see basketball at its finest level played with greatness on all sides, watch tonight.
Yep.
So for Nick, who's out tonight, I'm Jason McCall, Matt Maurer, Dennis on the boards. It's DETV Sports. See you guys next week.